the Gross Domesticated podcast, technically, but yes, Derek, it's the Gross Domesticated podcast. And there'll be I already got the nice art that I have, and I just love the name. It's better than anybody else's podcast name.
Well, actually, there's one podcast that's not better than Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. Wait, which one are we doing?
The Thoughtless podcast.
What?
I'm gonna be
Thoughtless. I'm gonna be the Will and Grace guy.
I'm Ozark guy.
I'll be Will and Grace.
And then
but who's gonna be Bojack?
Oh yeah, we need a Bojack. Guys, you want to hop on and be a Bojack?
And a Bojack.
We'll send the link. Hold on. We need a Bojack.
But when we're done, I'm gonna go Jack.
Hey, isn't it fun being rich and it's successful?
Oh my god. Oh my god. So let me tell you what it was like on set. Good, because I have a successful career and I would never actually give you any interesting info. What's my opinion on this current event? The agreed upon one.
Yeah.
Dude.
Blanket statement.
I like all of those guys so much. Like when I see any of them in a fucking movie, I go, it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be a good show, whatever the fuck it is. When they're like, by the way, we're doing a podcast. I was like, go?
Yeah.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro on the Kelsey Brother podcast? Where you go, the football guys and the Hollywood guys, and was there a substantive conversation, or
that actually
was
made
it
me
just a clip farm?
The football that actually made me laugh really hard because some dork on Twitter was like, "Can you fucking believe this? This is below Leo." I go, it's not. It's 2025. The former centers of the Philadelphia Eagles have bigger pull than your gods.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Go Birds. It's like, shut the fuck up, dork.
It's just like one of those things where you're like, do what you want, but it's also like, you guys suck. Fuck you, celebrity podcasting fucks. be the celebrity in the one thing. Get the fuck out of our thing, you fucks.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like,
nobody wants to pay us to be in fucking Ozarks, so just go be in fucking Ozarks and we'll be in podcast. Well, this is our realm. It's free. It's the only free one. You can't take over the free one and get all the fucking. I'm not saying they're taking all the sheath underwear ads that we were supposed to get.
That's my $70.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, give me that fucking ad money, you fucks. Like,
no,
you don't need it. You have advertisers. You fucking idiots.
There's some people that you're clearly like Conan doesn't make me mad. I've listened to that.
He left TV and went into, you know what I'm saying? Like he went away.
But then when there's certain people that get into podcasting and then like every time you look and the episodes are like 40 minutes long and I go, you don't want to do this. Go back to Howard. You dug it. It's an hour. You know it's a fucking hour. And it should be hard to do it an hour because you just love to talk.
We're accidentally doing 3 times the work you are, trying to do the thing we want. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we're producing it ourselves. And we're fucking editing it ourselves. You fucking losers. And you guys are getting all the credit as you're not a podcaster. You're a guest every week on your own show. That's what you are. You come in and everything's already set. You don't have production meetings. You don't have that stuff. You have producers that set shit up for you. And I'll tell you, your mom's house is getting close to that. Your mom's house is getting dangerously close.
Does he still live in Austin? Let's move on to something else. No, dude, I was going to make the joke where I was like, horrible, dude, if Horrible Bosses 4 comes out, I'm there, baby. Yeah. Give me it. Ozark season 8. I'm there.
Will and Grace reboot. Give it to me, girl.
Pat's going to watch it.
Yeah, I like it.
No, I'd watch that.
Megan Malawi, I would love to eat her ass. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Glorilla is going to be upset.
No, both. I want both of them. This is a fucking human centipede of fucking all of Pat's crushes.
You know whose other ass I would eat?
Davey Havoc.
Mustachio Davey Havoc.
Hey, we were right.
Yeah. No, today.
This got me. I thought that was funny.
Davey Havoc's a man again. Well, Davey Havoc's been Davey Havoc.
I'm sorry. Have you seen him sing? Nope. He's still going.
Oh yeah, no, he's still a fella. He's just
still
not.
Davey Havoc.
He's just not for the gals.
Yeah, not for the gals. It's all for the fellas.
Davey Havoc's been every part of a suburban couple that gets divorced when the kid gets to. Because if you look at early AFI, he was the son. And then the album we're talking about today, Sing the Sorrow, that's when he became the mother. And now finally the dad came back from buying cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah, finally. And honestly, he looked like he smoked every single one of them.
Yeah. And we should say to the fans who haven't been in on the whole fucking stream when we repost this, we had some scheduling stuff, so we have to do it on the internet today. But it's been going pretty well. This is a very fun way to do it. I like looking at your face, not your shoulder.
I like the stream. Yeah, I like stream going into it, and I feel like we still make more eye contact this way somehow.
Yeah,
like we're able to eye contact a little bit better.
Yeah, and I can watch hardcore pornography while we do it.
I have been the whole time. Everything.
I've been milking myself in an auto blow this whole stream.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. And as long and honestly, the it kind of captures the friendship. The stream can be the friendship part that we usually just waste and don't record at all. And we'll just
a huge waste. A lot of people just do this thing where they like live. And then it's like, how do you monetize that?
Yeah.
So we figure out. Yeah, I'm actually literally asking, how do you monetize this? I
was just gonna say, yeah. Honestly, that's a real question because
I'm dead fucking serious.
The hours I've wasted talking to this fucking.
The hours I wasted building deep relationships with this fucking dusty fuck.
I think in general, no, I think it was Sing the Sorrow, and we wanted to get back to our verses era.
The verses was fun. That was fun because it gave us more to talk about. So we're doing AFI versus Alkaline Trio from here to Infirmary, right?
Yeah, that was no. Yeah, it was the one with the one you. It was funny. So this is a fun. The interesting thing I thought immediately when I mentioned that album, and I asked you that one or Crimson, and you were like, "Oh, this one because it has Armageddon." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny because my thing was Private Eye. That was my jam from this song, this album."
Oh,
I remember the so like early. I guess early on, like that would be early enough. I guess that was 2001, I believe.
From here to Infirmary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2000. I'm looking at it right now. That's what I'm looking up. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's 2001.
So like that was if there were hits at that time, I felt like that was the hit from that album. That was the one where like when I heard that song, that changed. I was like, who is this? I don't know what it was. It was just something about the structure of the song Private Eye, the way the tempo of it, the fucking everything. It was one of those things where I was just like, I think the smoke myself stupid and drank my insides raisin dry.
Yeah.
And then it just has, and this is my favorite part about Alkaline Trio is they have the way of taking these fucking dark, gothy fucking emo fucking themes and going like at the right place at the right time, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, this is super fun. And you're like, but like Private Eye to me is still a perfect fucking bop. That should be like a all-time perfect single. Like,
well, it's funny you said it that it's funny you said it that way because that was like my big takeaway from listening to Alkaline Trio a bunch this week. Because so I did this thing where I was like, I want to familiarize myself with like the whole catalog because Alkaline Trio, while they are great, they do fall victim to the Bad Religion thing where they write about 5 songs and just play them over and over again. So I wanted to like familiarize myself with their entire catalog. And then AFI has a thing where it's like, okay, we're a hardcore speed punk band, and now we're the coolest punk emo band for about 2 or 3 albums. And then they like did their post Sing the Sorrow, whatever that is. I haven't listened to that one. So I was trying to get a good amalgamation of it, of like their whole catalog. And then I start listening to I start hearing all the Alkaline Trio, and while it's good, it all starts blending together. So I go, wait a minute, let me actually go. So I've listened to a bunch of Alkaline Trio albums this week. I listened to Sing the Sorrow, but I just listened to a shit ton of Alkaline Trio this week. And I noticed it's like they have a very specific style.
Yeah.
And it just gets better and better each album. But it's like to the point, because like, so we talked about it a while ago. Their album, I can't remember the name of it. I'm about to say it's my favorite. God damn it. Their album, God damn, it's my favorite Alkaline Trio album. And I kept listening to From Here to Infirmary songs, and I had to like look down because, dude, literally to the point, there's like vocal lines that are incredibly similar to songs on God Damn It. And to the point where, because like I've listened to God Damn It so much, I'm very aware to the Alkaline Trio things. So like the drummer loves to hit 16s on the hi-hat. When he's playing a fast part on the ride cymbal, hits the bell a bunch and does this. And it's a really cool thing where it's like he's not just going like da 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 da. He'll be like da 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 da, like doing a bunch of shit on the ride cymbal. And then when I was listening to a bunch of From Here to Infirmary, it's like they do this rinse and repeat on every album. But instead of it's like if it was a t-shirt, rinse and repeat, instead of the quality of the shirt going down, it's almost like, hey, this shirt getting nicer.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, I poke fun at them, but I give them huge props because it's like they figured out their very specific thing and it just gets like better with every album. Cause I listened to God Damn It. And then I listened to Maybe Catch Fire. And then I listened to From Here to Infirmary. And I go, all these albums sound the same, but this one's the best version of it.
Yeah. And I think that's why it has the hits, you know what I mean? Like, but it also has, I don't love necessarily like every Alkaline Trio song all the time. It has to be the right place at the right time.
Right place. Right place.
But it just has to be like I guess it's a thing where like I get in the mood to listen to like flip through, because when they get it right, there's a song called War Brain, I think, that they have off of their later ones. It was I heard it on the Rock Against Bush album, the compilation, one of the volumes, and it's one of those things where I'm like, damn, this is enough. Because when they get it, when they nail it, it's like, whoa,
yes,
like
yes.
But like the other stuff, I'm like, this is good. But like when they nail it, I'm like, I'm blown away. I'm like, how are they not the biggest fucking band in the world? It's crazy.
But it's because of the other songs. Because this is listening to Alkaline Trio. Cool. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that was a fun.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that was a fun ending, and you're just like, whoa, turn this up.
Yeah.
Holy
what
shit.
the fuck? Like that's listening to Alkaline Trio.
Yeah, it's nuts because you don't. You know what to expect, and then sometimes, and at other times you have like no idea what to expect. I couldn't have said that any worse, but like every once in a while, like you're like, it's Alkaline. It's Alkaline Trio has a new album, and you're like, cool. You listen to it, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, that's good. And then again, it just out of nowhere. It's like you don't know that it's coming, but like this album has at least two of those with Armageddon, I feel like, and with Private Eye. Private Eye to me is just like one of those ones where it just punches you immediately. Like,
I'm trying to remember which one it was, because there was one
the first song on there.
Private Eye's the first song. There was a couple. There was like one or two songs on here that was really fucking getting me. I want to say it was You're Dead. But yeah, they're similar to Bad Religion. They're a vibe band. You know, where that's like the thing. Armageddon's a good song. It's fast paced. It's upbeat, and you're liking it. And then it's good. And then it hits a moment on that key change. And it just, like, they don't do anything, like, super overt and specific. But it just, like, that's really what happens with Alkaline Trio songs. It's like, it just feels different.
They're efficient.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. They're efficient with what they do. Like that's like you said, like out of nowhere, they'll just do a very subtle key change, or they'll do a very subtle, just a little bit different thing.
Chord progression, something just they're very subtle. You don't actively know what's going on. You just feel different while the song's going.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. It's like almost like when like there's certain tones that people can play that like, well, you can't really hear, but it'll just make you feel uneasy or different or anything like that. It's what a
Or
lot of
the brown tone, it'll make you shit your was it the
yeah.
brown note?
Yeah, the brown note, like stuff like that, where you're like you can't necessarily hear it with your ear, but it does affect your body in a physical way, like something like
Yeah.
that. So I think the same idea, like they have this thing where like they have this effect in their songwriting that keeps this, like it keeps their things, like something that I kind of wish that Bad Religion did. They feel like, I feel like they had more, and Bad Religion's been around a lot, I think a lot longer than Alkaline Trio, obviously. So uh well, they were like
Oh
early
yeah,
80s.
they were 80s, right?
Yeah, early 80s.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So about a decade longer.
So like it's just a thing where like Alkaline Trio haven't made too many big huge leaps, or things where like it sounds like, I feel like from Gray Race to New America maybe doesn't sound as drastic now, but at the time it sounded crazy.
Yeah.
Like, but it still was like, oh, it's just not good Bad Religion now. Like it still sounds like Bad Religion, but it's just not as good.
Yeah,
And
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 then
and
when
they Alkaline Trio is kind of like you said, they just get progressively a little bit better, but at no point where you're like, what the fuck is this? Well, like this is like I kind
yeah.
of feel that way about the new AFI, but I also haven't kept up on the new AFI. And I know that's not what we're talking about, but the latest ones, the goth songs, I'm
Oh yeah,
like,
I'm actually very curious. My last thing I'll say about Alkaline Trio that I'm very curious because you were mixed about their new AFI's new shit. My
yeah,
last thing about Alkaline Trio is like any album you hop in on an Alkaline Trio, if you've never heard them before, you're probably gonna go like, oh shit, this rips.
yeah,
The thing is though, every subsequent album, that's why you were kind of getting at this before, where when you bring it up, you didn't necessarily go like, oh my god, this album, the progression front to back. You go, Private Eye's a fucking bop.
yeah,
That's the thing about Alkaline Trio,
yeah.
is they give you they probably have like 1 to 200 songs, like a crazy amount of songs, and then like you whittle it down and you're left with like 30 songs that absolutely fucking annihilate. And
Yeah.
then the rest of them are still pretty good, but
Yeah.
like because of that moderate progression, you don't there's not the same type of dynamic shift where, and then we can jump to AFI, who AFI like over the years has had very dynamic shifts where they were,
Like
I
you said,
mean,
hardcore punk. They were a hardcore band.
they
They
wrote,
started out as a hardcore band.
yeah, basically up until I was listening to him a bunch last night, but it was kind of hilarious. Like up until The Art of Drowning, they were like, what if we wrote the same song over and over again? Like they just like
And they did it really well.
they did it really well
Yeah.
for 4 albums. They were just
Yeah.
like, we're doing that one song, and then Art of Drowning and Sing the Sorrow. Like Art of Drowning, I was listening to it a little bit last night. It's Sing the Sorrow without a like professional
Yeah. Yeah.
studio and production team behind
Yeah.
it.
It just
Because
kind of
like,
seemed it was a big leap. And I think I saw when I got to see them live at Warp Tour at the USF
what
soccer
year?
field. Early. It was early in my like music going. I think I want to say 99. But I'm not sure if I was going even that early. It might have been 2000. It was the last time that the Warp Tour was at the USF soccer field in
Is that
Tampa.
pre Sing the Sorrow?
I think so, and that's what I'm saying.
That's cool.
Is like we were going and like they were headlining, and I was I was actually pissed off that if I was headlining, because I was like, really? Because I think like again, NoFX was playing. I'm pretty sure like a couple other where I was like, really? Fucking AFI? And then but AFI was crossing over into that. Like I didn't know how big they were. And it was around the same time as the fuck, what is it? Not Sing the Star. What was the other one that you just said?
Art of Drowning.
Art of Drowning. And they started out with a lot of their they started out with a lot of the softer, not as harder, like more performative AFI shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the newer,
showing
the newer
because
direction.
all the pre-Art of Drowning shit, it rips, but it's all the very same thing where we have a really fast, the drums are do da do da do da do da. It's that a lot of whoa, like shit like that. Like it's good, but it's kind of it's a very similar thing over and over again. When you listen to Art of Drowning, it's the beginning of them starting to expand their sound and throw up a little bit of variety, a little bit of range, almost bring in a little bit of a rock influence outside of just strictly, because that, while a lot of those subgenres like hardcore punk, like the hardcore punk and stuff like that, those subgenres are very cool, but because they're all very they're anti shit. We're anti-mainstream, anti-establishment. They actually inadvertently pigeonhole themselves into a very specific pocket. So, it's why a lot of bands burn out after 3 or 4 albums, because you start listening to it and you're like, you're not giving me anything new. So to be able to, and that's what really impresses me with AFI, because like, I know we're supposed to talk about Sing the Sorrow, but I can't help but just talk about, like, dude, I was even listening to a little bit of December Underground.
Yeah.
And I don't like, obviously that one's their most mainstream album, but even that album, it's shocking how, like, I just, for some reason, I assumed it was because, like, and now, I kind of like Miss Murder now, but at the time when it came out, you hear the bass just like doom, 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 doom. And any band that's like a punk band, and then you're famous now, so let's throw out the I go like, you fucks.
Yeah.
So like when it came out, I heard that, I got mad at AFI, and I just assumed the whole album was dog shit. Brother, I listened to it. They have like the intro that's kind of like electronic beat, but the first song on fucking December Underground is like a classic AFI punk song.
Yeah.
And then I kept listening, and it's like, it is obviously their most mainstream album, but it's
a
still
transition. Yeah.
They still stay true to themselves. That's what's always great, no matter whether you like or dislike AFI shit. I feel like you can't give them shit they always stay true to themselves.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Sure. He ain't running. Anyway, I don't know if he heard that. I hope he did. Yeah, man. So we'll get more into it. I'm very curious too about Pat's take on, because in private he was telling me he wasn't too hyped about the new AFI shit, but yeah, man. Sing the Sorrow was one of my favorite albums when it came out. It was is this gonna make full screen? I'll just do it like that until he comes back. Sing the Sorrow was definitely one of my favorite albums, and there's a lot of stuff I listened to from that time period that is very of the time. Like I've talked about it a lot with Sum 41, or even a little bit of Blink 182. Even though I do think like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and Enema of the State still rip. Like I will not deny that they still 100% rip, but they are at the same time of their time. A thing like one of the big things I loved about listening to this album is it had a very like timeless sound. It's one of those albums, like going back to Sum 41. If a band came out and they put out, if a band came out, Sum 41 came out right now, and they put out like All Killer No Filler, or if other band did that, and you would just be like, oh, this sounds like some early 2000s. This sounds like some early 2000s pop punk shit. Okay, they're kind of doing a throwback thing. You could throw this album at this quality, at this type of sound out right now, and it would just kind of be, would it be a slight kind of, just because punk's not as popular now, would there be a slight throwback energy? Sure. But I do also think heavily it would be a thing of like, I do think heavily it would just kind of sit there on its own as its own thing. And one of the big things, and I'm very curious about Pat's perspective on this as well, but one of the other big things I noticed a bunch with this album is the transition to, and this kind of goes to what I was saying earlier about maybe incorporating more rock and roll and just having that broader mindset of, let's put out an entire project. Let's not just put out a bunch of good songs. So while old AFI, where Yeah, so answer that and stay fashionable. Very proud of you. Shut your mouth and open your eyes. Black Sails in the Sunset. Less Black Sails, but still a little bit Black Sails. Those to me, and some people might disagree with this, but those to me come off as like, here's a good song. Here's a bunch of good songs. When you listen to Sing the Sorrow, that to me comes off as like, here's a whole beginning to end piece of work. And that's, I think that's important too, because, Sing the Sorrow, it's kind of funny. Like, that's when they got popular and famous and shit, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 albums in. Sing the Sorrow is 6 albums in. And it, wait, how'd you do that?
What?
How do you do that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's so, no, literally, how'd you do that? It's so fucking funny.
I just hit the maximize button right here. I just maximize my window and say, hey guys, how you guys doing? I'm the host.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
the captain now.
Wait. Oh, wait.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't realize that's how you do
Not
that.
today, Junior. Something about AFI or something?
Look at that.
Yeah,
now we're round.
That earlier. I like that. We look like boobies.
We're boobs. We are boobs.
Look at boobies.
I wish I could change your name. Oh, wait, can I?
Yeah, I can change yours too, so be careful.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Where'd it go? What the fuck was that? Did someone get shot?
Yeah.
What just happened? Did Stanley... Wait, what does it say now?
What? Nothing. I hit him.
How'd you hide him?
I don't know.
You can't hide him.
I did. You want me to
Okay.
Invite
I hide you. This went off the rails very quickly. Bring him back.
Guys. I don't know what happened. I can't.
You do know what happened.
Hold on. Nope. I don't know. I clicked the thing. It said hide thing.
There we go.
Can I edit it?
Got you.
Okay, you got it. Oh no.
Well, we got to change that.
Emperor. Gay sex emperor.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, so that got completely derailed.
So yeah, you were saying something about Davey Havoc's house being painted black.
Davey Havoc house is painted black in Mattersville. No, I was saying that this album, Sing the Sorrow, looking back on it, one of the things was, God damn it. Okay, I guess that's still fair. Looking back on it, one of the things I am heavily biased because this was one of the big albums for me when I was younger. This was definitely like a big like mainstream punk album for me. What?
Sing the Sorrow?
Yeah, Sing the Sorrow. But there is like a timeless sound of it where I think that's a big reason why AFI is still relevant. Like I realized that with, I posted that A Fire Inside clip and it went like, it was just like a random dumb joke that a couple people will like this. And then like on TikTok and on Instagram, it went like viral for me. And it is a thing of just like, no, AFI has stayed locked in the whole time because they still figure out how to like keep their core essence, but reinvent their shit. And at the same time, make their shit sound very unique and have a very timeless feel to it. And the other thing I was saying when you were gone was one of the things that really enhanced this album was while their old shit kind of may have come off as a bunch of good songs, Sing the Sorrow was like one of the first AFI albums to sound like you're doing some jazz. Gotcha. Sing the Sorrow was one of the first AFI albums that felt like a full piece of work rather than just here's a bunch of good tunes.
It's a real piece of work.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a real piece of work over there with your singing and your sorrow.
When I was what I was sharing before was when I went to that Warped Tour, I was like, it's pretty cool. Like because I was like, oh, this is like I'm not stupid. I didn't love the newer AFI. I wasn't a huge fan of the Art of Drowning at the time. But like it was a thing where like, oh, AFI is already kind of becoming one of those soft bands. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those ones that's like, and they started out with like at the Warped Tour. This is the thing that bothered me. They came out to the Warped Tour and they played like almost exclusively new, slower shit. And I was like, all right, I guess we can go. And by the time we got across the soccer field, I could hear them start to play what is it? The 5th season, 6 seasons? What is it called?
Day of the Phoenix?
The one where it goes, bah, bah, hey, whoa. You know the song? It's like, I guess that's every AFI song.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those, like, it's one of the classic ones that I like love. That's like a little bit tougher. That fucking, that I was like, oh, I would have ripped it up. And then they started playing I could hear them playing the classics across the field. But it took probably 5 or 6 songs into their set before they did those. And I was kind of like, what? But I get it. Like they're growing. They're trying to change. But like
that's
those are
the
the
thing.
Hits. You gotta play the hits, guys.
But
You're
that's
the Warped Tour.
Okay. Are you trying to bring up a grievance from '99 right now?
I'm just in general of like why I kind of gave up on AFI for a while.
Okay.
For a long time. Because that's the thing is that then they went into I saw them like having like music videos and shit. When I saw like what's Miss Murder and what's the other one that is off that one where it's like where he screams at the end, or is that Miss Murder?
Where it's like, yeah, that's Miss Murder. I know the Girls Not Gray music video was big.
Girls Not Gray
MTV.
is a pretty good one. I like that was one where I was like, okay, that's a good mix. Where it almost sounded like anime intro music. You know
that's the thing where I think it's just that kind of like growth you have to accept in a band, because as much as like, here's the thing, if they just kept doing the pre-Art of Drowning stuff, they would have 1,000% fallen off. Like, but I get it.
It just was one of those things of like, I never faulted them for doing it, except for at that Warped Tour. That Warped Tour, I was like, this is probably the last Warped Tour you guys are going to play because you're getting so big.
Yeah.
Play like, it's like if I go to see Offspring at the Warped Tour and you don't play like most of Smash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you don't play something from fucking Smash, I'm gonna fucking smash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta,
it's crazy. You gotta play the classics and you gotta play the hits. You can't play everything off of the.
Well, you also got to remember though, everyone there's not as tapped in as you are. So
it's about the Warped Tour. That's what I'm saying. Is like you're bigger. When they started doing the thing where this is god damn it, another soapbox. When they started doing those extended sets, like headlining sets, where they said like this is everybody gets 30 minutes except for there's one band and we'll let you guys vote or what. Of course it's always going to be the fucking radio band that you booked. Of course it's going to be. That means that NoFX is going to have to scoot off the fucking stage real quick so that the fucking big band can go up there and go, let's have a little presence. And it's like this thing of like, no matter, and I'm not saying AFI, I'm saying whoever it is. Once they started doing that, that was the beginning of the end for the Warped Tour. It was always supposed to be everybody does, no matter what stage you're on, everybody gets the same amount of time. I say like that?
Yeah.
That's
No, I hear what you said. Can I say this though about your AFI point is I think depending on can you remember if it was Art of Drowning or Sing the Sorrow? Because you were saying playing slow stuff, so you might have seen them around Sing the Sorrow.
No, well, they may have like maybe they had some of those songs written, and they were like, "This is off an album that's coming out." You know what I mean? Like, I think it was even like that close. Like, no, because Sing the Sorrow was 2003.
2002.
So yeah, it might have been. It honestly may have been like, here's some songs we're working on. And you're like,
okay,
but even the slower songs off of their other albums that are like that.
Sure. But here, my point I'm trying to make is like, you got to also think too, like AFI, like we look at AFI as this like gigantic, huge band. If they just put out the Art of Drowning, they're probably not that big. So they probably don't have hits like that. So it's probably makes more sense for them to play newer shit and stuff like that. That being said, this is where I was trying to kind of relate to you on that, where it was kind of a funny thing about how this album grew on me over time, where I would have been in the same pocket as you. Is like, I always love Singing the Sorrow. But when I was in high school, I'd be like, okay, Leaving Song Part 2, sick. I'll listen to that. But then I listen to the fast song, another slow song, skip. And then da-da-da. Because it was like I was way more prone and used to the fast shit they did. Now at an older age, I fucking love all of it. I think it's just because at the time I was like, fast punk rock is the only music worth being written. So like I was more locked in on that, but it is kind of funny now that I'm older and I have a much wider range of musical interest. I actually like the album more now than I did in high school.
I didn't, and that's the thing is I think it's matured well. Like it's definitely over the time, like it's gotten to a point where like when I'm going to shows, I want to fucking tear it up in the pit. I want to do like now you want something more substantive. Like you want something with more meaning or something besides, and that's how you get from like that's I mean this it's exactly what we want from bands and what we're talking about for like every time we talk about Pennywise or we talk about other bands, after a while just writing, they're just in the motions, they're just kind of just writing whatever, and like it's because you're not taking these bigger leaps to try either something else, and some do, like, but I think it's more of like solo project stuff, like Lagwagon, instead of being like continuing with doing like Lagwagon albums, Joey Cape just goes off and does acoustic stuff, some original songs, and then some just Lagwagon covers. So like it's what like Tony Sly was doing near the end. Like that's how, like we talked about this, like a lot of punk rockers get into folk music or bluegrass or something like that, where country or something. So it's transitioning is completely acceptable, and this is how. But anytime at that age, anytime I heard like a sustained guitar, like instead of it being like like something like that, if it was just like a bah, 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 I was just like, I don't know about this. Even something like that, I needed it to fucking rip from the start. I was listening to F minus, fucking Leftover Crack, Choking Victim at this time, probably tons of Guttermouth, like the Vandals. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't a lot of ballads. So
no, I was the exact same way. Like I was like, what was dude saying earlier? High octane.
Yeah.
Not like the butt rock style, but like just with the general intensity of my music.
The angst. Essentially and that's what I'm saying is it didn't really necessarily matter
for me, it was
subject
more
wise. And I think AFI was going more subject matter and like again substance of music and production and everything.
Speaking of substance, I do want to give, this was always, and this is why I'm happy we're doing Alkaline Trio versus AFI specifically.
Yeah.
Because I remember noticing this, being a big fan of like, gay pussy emo shit. Mm-hmm. And all that stuff got called like fucking lame and gay and stuff, somewhat justifiably. Like you go back and listen to it and you're like, yeah, you guys need to calm down.
Yeah, guys, Jesus Christ, relax.
You can only kill so many of your ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, you can only kill yourself so many times. Like how many ex-girlfriends are you going to kill yourself over? Literally, you can only do it once. Which one are you choosing? Yeah, which one's going in the note? We're not sending a note to every one of them. You pussy.
It's a murder. You don't have a second murder-suicide. So let's really think this one out.
And I am your obsession. And you're just like. And Andy's just like, yes, preach, King.
I'm gonna say words like martyr and concubine that I don't use in regular conversation.
Exactly. It's just like it's all goddamn Jim Morrison art. It's all in Jim Morrison poems. Just going like, I'm really smart and I don't like farts, even though I said it.
I'm way smarter than that guy that blows your back out.
But yeah. Sorry, when you're listening to all that.
But there was some, and because you were kind of talking about it with like the like sort of poppiness of Alkaline Trio, and then the ironic. Well, even Alkaline Trio kind of had an edge, but like not as much. AFI definitely had way more of an edge with some of their songs. Alkaline Trio had this like nonchalant, because like emo music is very like desperate and needy.
Yes,
bands like Alkaline Trio and AFI are indifferent and they're like, I want to die. I don't care what you think of me.
They're almost, you know what they are? They're like dudes that are like shy in public, but like are like the doms in bed. You know what I mean? Like they're like fucking like they're like dominating.
Yeah.
They're like looking
They're
for something.
tying the girl up and
Yeah.
whipping her and pouring blood down her throat.
Yeah, like they're like
Is that a thing gods do?
I think so. Yeah, they're pouring candle wax all over their tits or something. But like that's essentially the thing. Like they're probably like those types. They're like they seem like harder edge. They're not like pussies that are like she left me. They're just like fucking. You can never leave me. I put a spell on you.
whenever they're in public, they put their hand around their shoulder and their thumb just goes into her neck a little too hard. Well, it was like if I saw not that like AFI or Alkaline Trio came off overly tough or anything, but there's a thing like if you look at Fall Out Boy, you're like, oh, I could beat all of them up one-handed. Like,
yeah,
you know, you don't have the same. You don't have even Davey Havoc looking like a divorced mom working at a bar. You could still be like,
wait, now?
No. Now he's the father who finally came back.
I forgot what era we're talking about. You're right. Sorry.
But no, like even when Davey Havoc looked like a fucking hairdresser, you still go like, yeah, but she got some claws on her. She could fuck my face up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that growl. You hear that growl? I think I think Davey Havoc has this like, no matter what, like, no, like we make jokes about Davey Havoc being gay or whatever, and like looking like a woman and a weirdo guy and whatever. But like,
he's still the coolest guy ever,
dude. I'm saying like he is fucking awesome. It's one of those things I've never not thought. Like I didn't. It's so funny that I didn't realize it, but like there's like a couple. I watched Davey Havoc like coming out essentially. I think like with his like his look and everything. Like when I was following this band, I was like, oh yeah, Davey Havoc used to just be jeans and a t-shirt. You know, he might have worn a suit. He wore, you know, what is it? Shut your mouth and open your eyes.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like they've had this like edge or like again a image or production about them. But for you, it's kind of like a Misfits fan who's into punk rock and like darker stuff. And then, and like you said, he starts getting swooshy. He starts wearing like
I'm trying to find
things, and you're like, and you go, oh, and then like I actually found out he's actually gay, and I go, oh, and like it literally, that was my reaction. Was like, oh, it kind of made sense, but I was also like,
yeah, this one,
he's still fucking cool as shit. Like,
well, that's I remember it was one of these photos.
Yeah, where I'm like,
I remember seeing his hair
gay, right?
I remember seeing that and going like, oh yeah, he's gay. I never thought about it.
Yeah, literally, and it was like it literally was just start to finish. It was just that, and then and then moving on. It didn't change anything else about anything. How I thought about his performance, his art, his productions, or anything like that. It just made me. It didn't make me. I would say like it made me like him more, but also like he just makes you like him more. Have you watched that interview with him recently
on Hard Lore?
Yeah.
I started it. I didn't finish it.
He seems like will never get the opportunity to talk to him. But
he would hate us.
Interview him at least, but maybe talk to him. But I would absolutely be fucking honored to interview. He seems like the most joyful, fun interview ever.
Yeah.
Like, even when he gives him shit about not being vegan or whatever, and he was just like, and that includes animal flesh, boys.
Yeah,
but there's a little thing where you're like, even him doing the little vegan bullshit, like shaming you, he's just like does it, and he's just like moving on because he's like he's a gay dude, and gay dudes like outlook for the most part on things. From my personal experience, talking to dudes growing up at the bar that I used to hang out
at the bar where they were feeding you beers.
Yeah, it would always be this thing where you're like, they're just kind of like, yeah, like they wouldn't make fun of me for the music I listen to, right? And that was the coolest thing because everybody would always like, well, you probably listen to that like shit. Like they're always just like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. I used to see I saw the Stooges once at blah blah blah, and you're like, oh shit, like, and it's just like they're
Well,
just
that's
it's
why.
like they're cool. They're like Swiss Army dudes. Like
Well,
they're
that's
still
why.
dudes, but they like
That's why
you
old
know,
school. That's
like
why
they poke
old
good holes.
school. That's why old school gay dudes are way more chill before,
Yeah,
because now it's like trendy and there's people like literally pretending to be gay,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
so funny.
It
So
became a
funny to
character.
dude. It's so funny to imagine that there's kids in like high school and college pretending to be gay just to get pussy. To think about they're gonna be 35 going, like you said, dude, and I don't like dudes. Why did I do that? It's so funny to think about.
Oh my god.
It's like, dude, I just wore girl pants to get pussy. You actually you kissed a guy to get
I
pussy.
don't even remember her name. Yeah, I was just like the white knight. That was the I want to protect you. Like I was the hopeless romantic. I was never the I'm gonna
Well,
make out
no.
with a dude.
Well, no, but like old school gay dudes are way more chill because they had to like legitimately, like they had to be fearful for their safety a lot of times. So
Yeah.
they, in like for their own survival, they became the chillest dudes. Because
Yeah.
it's like fucking Shane has that joke about the college football teams where like you want people to accept trans, get them a good squad on Alabama. And
Yeah.
it's like, because that's the thing. It's like it's if you become the chillest dudes ever, it's gonna like overtake a lot of hate and shit. And then also mix that with, I always loved my music, as the straightest guy in the world. We all know this.
Mhm.
I loved my music to be a little kind of like, I don't know, like I don't know what the right term is, but I liked all that like fucking
Zesty.
yeah, a little. I like, dude, for real though. It's like
Yeah.
you're gonna listen to like music like this that's so good. It's like, yeah, I want the dudes to be a little zesty in there. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I
Because that's
want.
the thing. It's like think about the other bands you like. Or like I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying like the punk universe, right? Who else do you like? There's somebody out in the chat saying something about the Cramps. Cramps
Yeah,
are a fucking super gay band. The like, you know what I'm saying? Like Misfits. They fucking get their little hair and they put it down here and they wear their little makeup and they come out and they go, we're monsters. And they sing about aliens and monsters and classic Hollywood movies. There's nothing gayer than that. They're singing about TCM movies.
yeah.
And then they go
And the
like,
guitarist makes sure he's super jacked the whole time.
yeah, they want to make sure they look amazing on stage, and which makes sense, but it's also like not super fucking punk. Yeah, Sassy's another good one. But like
Sassy, yeah.
Spartan's got that one here.
No,
like
that's why you've listened to the Blood Brothers, right?
yeah,
That's what I always loved about. I loved that fucking sassy zestiness to the music. It just made it more. It made it more exciting because it's like, especially too back in the day where everything was much more hyper masculine and not in like the fake bullshit way it is now, but everything was more hyper masculine. Listening to this music was a way to be a little bit more emotional and be
yeah.
in touch with that and not feel like a bitch.
And that's what I'm saying. Like and just in general with like Sing the Sorrow at the time, I wasn't as into that as I was more into like the let's fucking rip it up, fuck the government, fuck the world, let's fucking just like beat the shit out of everybody. like one of those things like let's just fucking mosh, dude.
Yeah,
And it
let's
was
just
kinda like,
cause chaos.
yeah, it was just chaos. Yeah, absolute chaos. So like it literally even but then brother, that's what led me like literally I was getting into this was right before I got into my super satirical and just kind of really cementing my sense of humor and my general in general because I didn't hate AFI. It was just not I didn't like that music anymore. And it just kind of bummed me out to be so excited to see this classic punk, like this famous big punk band, AFI, headlining the Warped Tour.
They weren't
And
doing
then
the songs you wanted to
him
hear.
come out and just be like, "Hi, everybody!" You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
let's go. I want to I want to be in a circle pit to an AFI song. Like, just give me that. And then before you sent off into playing arenas and shit like that, which they did go into, I knew it was coming, and I wasn't even pissed off about that. It was just like the thing of like, there's not going to be an opportunity to mosh at AFI shows much going forward because you're either going to be opening for bands that don't respect you for who you are, like because I saw it happen to Bad Religion with like them going on tour with Blink-182 in like '99, and they were like opening. They were like the second or third band on a list of like 4 bands, and I was like, I mean, I'm not saying that they should be headlining the. I thought personally they should be headlining the band, but I'm like, but it was also Blink 182 going like, "Hey, Bad Religion, come out and make some fucking
Yeah,
money." Like we're
you gotta
selling out arenas. I
yeah,
didn't see it from that point of view until
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So revisiting Sing the Sorrow now, I'm like, this is a good album. What like I wasn't
Can I ask you
wasn't
this?
mad at it. I just didn't love this direction. That's all.
Can I ask you this? And actually,
But
the thing you said about Bad Religion, like you also got to like look at where the bands are, because I was listening to you brought up Hardlore earlier. I was listening to the Scott Vogel from Terror on there. He's like, they're a legendary hardcore band, and they will actually strategically open for certain bands to help their profile.
Yeah,
because they're a band that could like half fill a medium-sized venue, and they know if Terror's opening for them, it'll actually bring more kids out because Terror's a legendary band. So, yeah, when you're younger, you see that, but then when you're older, you're like, oh yeah, that's actually like a strategic. That's like them showing respect.
But at the time, I was just like, "How dare you? They should be headlining. You should be opening for Bad Religion. You fucking young punks. You piece of
That's
shit."
like there's that story where what the fuck, it was Nirvana was going to go on tour, and I think like they were going to have the Pixies open for him, and Kurt Cobain was like, absolutely not. Pixies are the legends. I would never have that.
The Pixies were probably like, "Come on."
They're like, hey, thanks for the respect. I'd love to make some more millions of dollars. Please let us open for you, Nirvana.
Can you just give us what we would have made then? Like, if you're not going to let us play, can we just we could use that? Like, not that we're broke or anything, but like we can make hay while the sun is shining.
Yeah, it's like, we could
mean?
become millionaires very easily over the summer. Could we just do that? Oh,
yeah,
this is the question I wanted to ask you. From when you first heard Sing the Sorrow to like how you feel about it right now, what was your what was your rating you would give it out of 10 then versus now?
Back then it would have been like a 2, like and literally would have been, yeah, just because it would have been like those are like the amount of songs I like, and I really didn't. It was just kind of like, I don't know. To me now, and just because maybe I'm just more like as like a more matured person, I guess, like that, like it's kind of like it makes more sense and it's a lot more thought out than I thought back in the day. And like you said, it's still them. There's still them in the song.
Yeah.
Like they've grown. It's more of a thing where I thought it was so disconnected, and at the time was just like, I was never even necessarily like a diehard AFI fan before that. But after they started releasing this, I was like, oh, well, I at the time, I just would write a band off and just would be like, whatever.
Not fast, get out of here.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And if it didn't,
dude, I did the same shit.
When the singles would come on, like thing, I'd be like, I would register it. I'd be like, no, that's I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about it, but now
I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. But now, like, I would still say ranking on them, I still prefer the faster stuff, but like, I would definitely give it a more like, I would say like a 7, like a 6 or 7, just because it's still not my favorite.
Jump, dude. It's still a good jump.
It's still not my favorite, but I think I understand it more, and especially in hindsight now, seeing like the growth, like, and just the fact that they didn't change as people. Like I saw also, I don't know if this was around the same time, but Waking the Fallen to City of Evil, the switch with Avenged Sevenfold, and that was a band that I had just become a fan during the jump of Waking the Fallen and being like, this is amazing. These guys are incredible. And then they put out City of Evil, and I'm like, what? And then them also kind of talking shit about their last album and saying how shitty it was and how much they hated it. And I was like, oh,
really?
Like, I thought that's what happened with all bands when you got big. You just literally changed, but it was them just being these characters. They just wanted to be Motley Crue, and that's all. And they put out one album that really got them big, and it felt like it was in the same genre as like a AFI, Alkaline Trio, spooky rock kind of metal-y thing, and they just changed everything about them. And they said, that's not us. We're fuck though. That album sucks, and my voice was fucked up.
Didn't there, dude? It's so funny you brought that up. I was literally talking to someone the other night about Avenged Sevenfold. Wasn't that around when their drummer died too?
No. It was. I think it was after City of Evil, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't listen to. But also I didn't realize their drummer actually wrote like all their music.
Yeah. And that's so actually that would be fun. That could be a fun.
Well, no, I was like, it's funny you brought that up because I was talking actually Pat at the creek, another Pat. I have too many Pats in my life, but no, I was talking to him. We were talking about Avenged Sevenfold, and I was going, and now I haven't listened to a lot, but I remember I listened to fucking Bat Country on the way home, which is one of their most mainstream songs, and I was like, listening to it as a drummer, I was like, I gotta give it to him. This kind of rips.
Yeah. So I was thinking
I'd be down for some Avenged Sevenfold because they were a band. They were similar to how I treated December Underground.
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed it fucking sucked ass, and I never double checked.
There's another opening day experience I had with City of Evil too. When I went to Best Buy and I bought it for $9.99. Had enough money, didn't have to get another deal, and
didn't have to learn about communism.
Didn't have to learn anything about it. But the I bought it and I put in the CD drive in my car, and I was just like, "What the hell is this?" And was like had a like that genuine like, "What the fuck?" And I thought it was like, "Okay, well, I'll get to the next song." And I go, "It's all like this." And I think I immediately wrote it off. Even Bat Country is like, I still know it obviously because it was, you know, a pretty huge single. But
I always thought Bat Country ripped for how mainstream it was.
What if we did Avenged Sevenfold Waking the Fallen versus Avenged Sevenfold City of Evil?
Yeah, I'd be down for that. That sounds fun.
Because it's back to back, and it literally that between that time and that time, I was the biggest Avenged Sevenfold fan. And then when City of Evil came out, that was my exact timeline. Waking the Fallen coming out, not long after that coming out, me being the biggest Avenged Sevenfold fan, to when City of Evil came out, the day of. We can mark the date of when I stopped being an Avenged Sevenfold fan.
Dude, it fucking happens, man. I always bring that up with 4 Years Strong. They put out Rise or Die Trying, and it's one of the most high quality, elaborate, well-written pop punk albums. Like it felt like a pop punk album written by a metalcore band, but it didn't sound metalcore. It just had all the elements. And then they put out Enemy of the World, which is still really good, but you're like, okay, they kind of toned it down, but they still do some of the shit.
Softened up a bit.
And then after that, I go, they put out like a 90s cover album, and then we're like, actually, we're just gonna do that the rest of the time. And I just go like, I'm not mad at you guys, but like,
I'm just not a yeah, like that's all.
I don't think I'm gonna listen to you guys anymore.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like
I think a lot of people have been through that with bands.
That's what this did for me with AFI, and I just kind of wrote them off. And I still will, like now. I obviously with Spotify and stuff, I check in on them every once in a while and still check that out. But like with Avenged Sevenfold, I was like, nope. And it was from Waking the Fallen, literally. That was my whole fandom until the day City of Evil came out. I was there, Best Buy, bought it. Hell yeah, can't wait. This is going to be a little corny cover. That's all right. And I get in the car, put it in the thing, and I go, oh, ugh.
Really?
And you're like, what the fuck is this? Who is singing? Who is this? Like, I go, what is the wrong album? I don't know if I actually did, but I was like, is this? I thought maybe they just pressed it wrong. Like maybe there is the wrong.
Did you guys give me Clutch? What's one of those?
But then they gave
real quick, is this actually a Buck Cherry album?
Yeah, Buck
Did you
Cherry?
give me a Buck Cherry album?
Hey, did you fuck me with the Buck Cherry?
Hey, did you fuck me with the Buck? I want that.
You give me a Buck fuck?
I want that Avenged 7. You fuck me with the Buck.
Yeah, I don't want to be fucked Buck. I want Avenged 7.
Don't fuck me with the Buck. I want my Avenge. You fuck me with the Buck. Get the fuck out of here with the Buck.
I will be avenged.
I will be avenged because you fuck me with the Buck.
I think the switch is going to be really interesting because I at the time again was a huge fan of Waking the Fallen. Still love it. I'm pretty sure I'll give it. Obviously, we'll give it a listen. But I still think it's a perfect album. We'll find out. And then City of Evil, And then for them also to be condemning their last album and being like, that was terrible. That's not even us. Fuck that. Anybody that likes that album doesn't like us. And it's like, well, fuck you guys. Like it was.
Well, I'm very
and
curious.
they have to revisit a lot of that press too, because I might have just been hearing that and I might have been lying.
Well, because you also got to think too. Like I remember seeing an interview where they were talking to. I want to say this was. This was probably around Parts Unknown, maybe. Every Time I Die, they're interviewing Keith Buckley and Jordan about their albums, and they're just like every album, they're like, ugh. Yeah. And there could also be, because I feel the same way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If you made me go back and watch my podcast, I'd be like, will someone shoot that guy?
Yeah. Stop breathing so loud.
Yeah, I'm watching my podcast, just being like, yo, can I hire the guy who did Charlie Kirk? This dude needs to shut the fuck up.
I forgive him, but no, but I think there's still a thing where like in retrospect, I haven't really gone back to visit that first Avenged Fest. Again, they're putting out singles. There's plenty of stuff of them on like TV, the radio, Rock Band, Garage Band. What was it called?
Rock Band,
and the other Guitar Hero, like stuff like that. Like they've been around. I know of their existence. I'm not completely oblivious, but that particular time in my life was like really. I was in a different mindset. Going back and revisiting the AFI album, kind of was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll like it a little bit more than. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I'll be a little bit more.
Yeah, no, because there's been a bunch of albums that like now that I don't have. Because I was the guy in high school who's like, I'm getting into, I really grew up from getting into fights with people on message boards back in the day. I really grew up from that. But no, for real though, I'd be like, I remember, dude, it would like, God, I really haven't changed. Oh my God. Because in high school, I would get into fights with people on message boards about Green Day, and it would really ruin my fucking day if I like didn't feel like they got where I was coming from. And I'm like, God, I mean, I really haven't changed one bit.
I gotta get going soon.
Yeah, I have to have crazy diarrhea. So thank you everyone for hanging out with us today. We will be, we might as well stream a little tomorrow because we just didn't do No More Heroes, but we will be doing that tomorrow. So we'll see you guys then. Have a good one. Be about it. Peace.
Gibberish.
All right. Bye, Pat.
See you, brother.